Hi, my name is Tracy, and I am from Canada, and I have MS. And I am a wife, a mom, a grandma of two granddaughters. One is 12, one is 2. I love them with all my heart. In 1987, I was diagnosed with MS. I had a CAT scan done and a lumbar puncture done, and they said it was probably MS, and they sent me home with a pamphlet. That was before the internet, so all I had was the pamphlet and an encyclopedia. A few months later, I had an MRI done, and it confirmed that I did indeed have MS. It started with I went numb on my left side, and a few weeks later, I started having double vision. That was the first indication that something was wrong. So yeah, I went home in the next 10 years. Nothing was crazy. I was tired a lot. I didn't have a lot of energy, but not too bad. And then in 2003, my feet were really cold for about 3 months, and there was nothing I could do to warm them up. And then a year later, I had a bout of optic neuritis. And in 2007, I had an epic relapse. I was hospitalized for 9 days. I had intravenous steroids, which my body did not like at all. And it took me a full year to recover from that physically. I've actually never been the same since. And then from 2008 to 2013, I was tired, like just tired all the time. And I had enough energy to get me through the day, but that was about it. And I was very overweight at that point. Actually, after the birth of my daughter, I was about 30 pounds heavier than I am today. And in 2014, that's, I guess, when I started going from relapsing remitting MS to secondary progressive. And it was a very bad year. My anxiety went through the roof. I had migraines for about 30 years, every month. And my memory was really bad. I had a hard time swallowing, and I had foot drop for about 20 years. But in 2014, the foot drop got really bad. I had muscle spasms where I would just shake, or then my fingers would cramp up and I couldn't move or grab anything. And I called it crazy legs because my left leg, my foot wouldn't move. It wouldn't turn. So my right leg would go, my foot would go, and my left leg would stay straight. So if I got up from a chair and I wanted to go straight, my left foot wouldn't move. So I would end up going backwards because my right leg was still going. Like it would still go, but my left foot wouldn't move. And I started having a loss of strength in my arms, so things started getting heavy. The doors to my building were getting heavy. Lifting a 3-pound weight was about the most that I could do. Inclines were crazy, like even outside the building where you would have an incline for just to make sure that the water from the rain didn't get through the front doors. That was like climbing Mount Everest for me. Walking up a flight of stairs was very, very difficult. it would literally take my breath away. And getting into bed was very, very difficult. I couldn't lift my legs to get them in bed. My husband started helping me get in bed for probably 3 years. Every night I couldn't get in bed myself. And I started falling. Or if I bent over to tie up my shoes, there was no guarantee that I would be able to hinge myself back up. So that was difficult. And I got a walker and a handicap parking space, the sticker for my car, and I started walking with a cane, especially in the afternoon or late at night. I usually didn't go out at night at all. It was just, I was too tired, and yeah, it wasn't all that great, so I just didn't go. And by 2015, I thought, okay, the wheelchair is close. It's coming. I can feel it. It's coming. I already have the cane, the walker, is the wheelchair. And I had this fear of being obese in a wheelchair. And I thought, I didn't want to be that big of a burden to my husband. I mean, he didn't put the weight on me. And I didn't feel like it was fair that he had to lift me into a chair or onto a lift or whatever it was. I just wasn't comfortable with that. So I decided to take whatever energy I had and eat less and move more, like I was supposed to do, right? And so I started walking with Leslie Sansone. And it was funny because my granddaughter, she was 9 or 10 at the time. And she said, after about a year of walking with Leslie, she said, "Is she your imaginary friend?" And I said, "No, she's real." And she really is real. She's fabulous. But so I started walking with her every day. She has videos on YouTube, or you can buy them. And I filled my freezer full of Weight Watchers and Light Delights, whatever, anything under 300 grams or under 300 calories. And that was breakfast, lunch, and supper. So basically, I starved myself for a year and a half. And I walked until I couldn't walk anymore, and I ate less until I couldn't eat any less. So there was nowhere for me to go. And me and my husband are crazy people. We watch documentaries for entertainment. And one night at the end of May 2016, we watched Sugar Coated on Netflix. And I thought, okay, like sugar is poison. They said sugar is poison. I went to bed and like, that boy's batshit crazy. Sugar is poison. And the next morning I woke up and that was my first thought was, why did he say sugar is poison? That's crazy, right? So I was checking YouTube and I found Katie Couric made a documentary called Fed Up. So I watched it and I thought, yeah, they're probably onto something. So that day I cut my sugar and I said to my husband, I'm going to watch a documentary or read something every day until I never want to eat sugar again. So I did. And a couple of months later, I came across Gary Taubes, and he wrote Good Calories, Bad Calories, and why we get fat and what we can do about it. And everything he said made so much sense about dietary guidelines and what we've been told to eat over the past 40, 50 years. And I thought, yeah, maybe I need more fat in my diet and maybe I need to give up some of the high carbs that I've been eating and see what happens. I needed to lose weight. That's why I did it. It's the ketogenic diet, low carb, high fat. I thought it made sense. So I thought, what the heck? I'm not doing anything anyway. I may as well try it, see what happens. So I did. And at the beginning, I was not in ketosis. Not even close. I didn't have the cognition to actually figure out macros and do the diet the way that it should have been done. But what I did was, at the very beginning, I drank bulletproof coffee every day, and that's at least a tablespoon of coconut oil, 35% cream, and butter, unsalted butter. And I would drink that every morning, and I was eating coconut fat bombs at least once a day, and coconut oil cookies, and anything I could bake that used coconut oil, I ate it. And, people thought I was crazy. People thought, yeah, you can't eat that much fat. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. But I don't know, nothing really was crazy at that point anyway, so what the heck, I tried it. And 6 weeks later, I had a good day. I didn't need any help at all. I had energy. I cleaned my apartment. We went to my daughter's after supper, and I didn't need any help walking up her stairs. And I thought, oh, okay. And I didn't need any help getting in the van. I thought, okay. And then they were moving furniture in the basement, and I had my granddaughter, and she was probably 7 pounds at that point. This was in the beginning of November. She was born at the middle of August, sorry. And so I had no furniture. She had stairs going up to her top level, but the baby was a little fussy, and I was walking with her, walking the floor with her, and there was nothing there, but she wasn't heavy. And I remember the week before, I was holding her for about maybe 2 minutes, and I had to pass her off because I didn't want to drop her. She was getting heavy. And normally when I did hold her, I would be sitting down. I would be on the couch, or I would be on the chair. And I was able to watch her at that point, if my daughter had gone out. And it was because I could lift her to get her to the change table and back. So I couldn't hold her for very long. But I walked the floor with her for almost 20 minutes. And the only reason I sat down was because I thought I was pushing my luck. So I thought, okay, I better sit down with her. But then we left, and I walked down the stairs. I didn't need any help. Got in the van. I didn't need any help. Got off the elevator, and I was able to walk a straight line off of the elevator to go down the hallway, and without turning a circle. And going down the hallway, I didn't walk into any walls. So I was walking a straight line, and I thought, okay, that is good. And then I got off my shoes. I didn't need any help. But I got in bed that night on my own, the first time in 3 years. And I thought, this is a really good day. This is a really, really good day. And then the next day was a good day. And I didn't need any help. And I had a lot of energy. And every day started to be a good day where I didn't need any help. And my husband said to me a week later, it's like you don't have MS anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? This is crazy. What the heck happened? And yeah, so the next 2 months, up until just after Christmas, I noticed I didn't have any migraines, first time in 30 years. No monthly migraines. My energy came back. No problems walking up the stairs. I wasn't exhausted. My anxiety went away. I was actually able to write all of my Christmas cards in one sitting, whereas before it was, okay, I could do the return address one day, and then I would write the address on the envelope the next day, and then it would take me about 2 days to write all of my Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever it was. It would usually take me a day or two to write that. And yeah, I did that all in one day. That was crazy. And yeah, my handwriting was, I still have bad penmanship, but it was good. And my foot drop went away. My strength came back. I was actually having sex at night with my husband. We haven't done that in almost 4 years because I had no energy at night. It was like having sex with a corpse. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's crazy. And most people wouldn't talk about that, but I do. So in 2017, I stopped taking my Rebip. I had been on that for about 7 years. And I just started researching ketones and found out that there was actually a mouse study done, and it was published in 2016. And it was done out of Germany where, the severity of the symptoms were reduced by 100%, and 20% of the mice reversed their symptoms. And I thought, yeah, I must be one of these 20%. Good for me. But yeah, I started researching anything. Terry Walls, the Walls Protocol, and she does paleo followed by the ketogenic diet. And then I started going on dietdoctor.com, finding out anything, like absolutely anything about ketones. And so everything was going really well. In 2018, my double vision went away, and I had had that every day since 1987. And my memory started coming back. I started remembering things when I was a kid, names of teachers and names of students that I went to school with. And I remember nothing up until that point. I basically didn't even remember my name. And my cognition came back. And today I still don't have any symptoms. And yeah, I'm part of an MS study at Bastyr University in Washington, and Terry Walls is actually part of that. So I'm part of that. It's a 5-year study on people who are doing well with MS and why are people doing well with MS, and maybe it could be helpful for other people with MS. And so there are other people out there. There's people who are going carnivore, and they're reversing their MS symptoms, just getting that sugar and the carbohydrates out of your diet, and increasing your ketones just any way you can, whether it's through diet. Like people are having results, and people are they're sharing their stories. And if it's one story, it is a story. If it's more than one, it's data. We're not runoffs. We're just not. There's something there. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not a scientist. I hated science in school. I hated health class. But there's definitely something there. And this is probably my first video. I'd like to do a couple more and talk about ketones and coconut oil. And anybody who has a comment, I would be happy to answer any questions. Or I have a very strong curiosity. And once I start digging, I just don't stop. And once I get my mind onto something, I just keep going. And one thing leads to something else. And like just with the MS, like that led me to epilepsy and type 2 diabetes and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and different uses of coconut oils and ketones. And it's there. The research is there. There are published articles, and it's there. You just have to dig a little and open your mind to saying that you don't need a pharmaceutical drug, that coconut oil probably does as much, if not more, for you, for anybody, than pharmaceutical do. And there's no side effects. Like you don't have to take another oil to combat the side effects from the coconut oil. So yeah, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of good information out there, bad information out there, but it's worth a shot. You may not like it. You may think it's just snake oil, but if you're not doing anything anyway, just try it. See what happens. It's cheap. I was taking through $2,000 worth of injections every month, and coconut oil is like $20. Like you can spend the 2,000 or you can spend $20 and see if it works for you. And if it does, great. Spread the word. If it doesn't, oh well, you tried. But yeah, so I'll leave it at that for today, and maybe make another video and post it next week. But thanks for watching, and have a great day, and talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.